All right, I'm sitting here with Mike Belcik, and Mike, thank you very much for coming up here and spending some time. You're new to the Tea Party. I'm real glad, or relatively new, about a year and a half, a couple of years now.
Yeah,
about 2 years.
Totally new to Texas.
Totally new to Texas. That's all right. From some state which will remain unnamed. Way out to the west. Way out to the west.
I'm proud to say that I escaped from California. I'll use the C word.
Okay.
You just got to keep in mind that everyone knows Eric Swalwell. He was my representative. So I cannot think of a better reason to say why I left California.
There you go.
That plus as a conservative, you know, they don't really, it's persecution for conservatives in California.
Yeah.
So as soon as I could, I escaped California and moved to Texas.
All right, good for you. So why in the world did you come to Houston in July? And you do not point at me. You had to have some other reason. Why in the world did you come to Houston in July?
Basically, as you mentioned, I am relatively new to the Tea Party. So I wanted to see the workings, how everything goes on. I've been taking involvement through the Tea Party, through the Second Amendment, but that's going to Austin. So I've been championing that little group, trying to change minds and hold our politicians accountable for what they do, force them to hold up to the priorities that I've been learning about downstairs today, and just try and make them do all that. So this is just an extension of what I've already been doing through the Tea Party in Austin, and this is just taking it to the next step to see how this is going on.
So I already know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you think about the organization of the Republican Convention in 2020? Now, forget about the Kung Flu and all of that. Tell me your thoughts.
First, I'll start out being nice.
Okay, that's good.
I saw a lot of dedicated people in the audience expressing their desires, their thoughts, their opinions. I saw a lot of dedicated people that are on the committees listening to all this. But with that said, we know darn well that when I'm sitting in the priorities committee, and hopefully one of the top priority will once again be concealed carry, that then constitutional carry
right.
will get passed off to the legislation, and they'll sit on it. So I know darn well that all of these people working so hard here today may be for naught if the politicians choose to ignore it.
I know, and that's one of the issues we've had, and I gave some testimony yesterday, and I was doing an interview earlier today, and it just kind of broke my heart because the gentleman was so excited that their issue was going to be in the priorities, and that was what it was going to take to move it forward in the Texas legislature.
Not necessarily.
And there was no, and I wasn't going to burst his bubble.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to let someone else do that. But that's one of the issues we've been having. We put all these thousands, literally, and I did the math. If you just so many hours per county, 355 counties, the resolutions, the planks, everything moving up. By the time we come up with just a single plank on the platform, we've got almost 10,000 man hours put into that one thing. 10,000 man hours. And so you then send it off to Austin, and it's like crickets, and they don't care.
Yeah.
And so I know you worked at this backwards. You went to Austin first.
Yes.
And you got to, in fact, you spent the whole session listening to us whine about why they weren't looking at the priorities. In fact, that was one of the letters that we delivered, and you helped us hand deliver almost weekly to Republicans in the House and the Senate, saying, you guys aren't even looking at the Republican platform. You know, what are you up to? So you've gotten on this end, you can see the grassroots work at this end. And you can see, like you said, everybody's just so sincere about it.
Yeah.
And it's just a heartbreaker then when they don't. And so did you get a chance to testify on Rule 44, the rule that holds them accountable? Did you?
No.
What did you testified on?
In priorities, I testified on gun rights, the constitutional carry, and what Rachel Malone had put as firearms freedom.
Right.
So that's the buzzword for the bill that she is. And were you there when that young man from was so passionate about? Short of it is he's on college's campus, and he's saying that we are wasting our time dealing with these little itty-bitty things.
Yes.
When he's saying there is essentially a tsunami of progressivism that is just going to wash us all away if we don't do something.
Yeah, it's like basically he was saying we're painting very carefully painting the chairs on the deck of the Titanic, and we're very concerned about getting all the colors right, and we're arguing over that.
Exactly.
And in the meantime, the boat's tipping over. He was very passionate.
Yeah.
And but yet at the same time, the deck chairs really do need to look good.
Oh, I know.
Maybe we can save save the Titanic. Yeah. All these things are important. Yeah. But I understand what he's saying.
So based on what he had warned us about yesterday, I spoke up for school choice.
Okay.
Because to me, that's one of the issues is that progressivism controls K through 12 and definitely all colleges. And we need to give parents a choice on picking the schools that best fits their value. And if some public school somewhere is advocating the 24 different sexes and we don't believe that,
right,
then we need to be able to send our tax dollars to a school that will basically teach what we think is true.
What the parents, what the parents want.
And then on top of that, with everything that's been going on in the news about the rioting and everything, the one thing that we know darn well, these kids going through schools don't know a darn bit of history.
Right.
They know none.
Yeah.
Because they've been led this way. They've been not taught on how to think.
Yeah.
They've been taught what to think. And so they come out as little robots, culture warriors, to go off and do this, and they get outraged at, oh, there's a statue. Don't know who it is, but it's got to come down.
Yeah.
So we got to fight that.
Do you think we still have a chance? Do you think we're in? Do you think we can still save Texas at least?
I'm banking on it.
Okay.
Like I said, I left California for a reason, and I came to the one state I had the most hope that can withstand it. But as we've talked about, with all the rhinos, even Austin, if we do our work here and fight hard to get it into priorities and platforms, if we can't get the correct politicians elected, what good is it? So I'm still hopeful, but time will tell.
Yeah, I know. It's I can't ever give up hope. That's part of me. It's I can't give up hope. I've had people from the Texas National Movement try to get me to come over there, and it's like, I know our country's in pretty crappy shape, but I still have a lot of faith, and I still have faith in our country, and I still have faith in Texas, and I have faith in the people, and I have faith in the grassroots, and it's just getting those the old leaders, the old leadership that were just kind of not used to getting much pressure. I think we need to get rid of those guys and come in with new. But we're doing that. We're starting here. Has there anything been anything that surprised you in a good way about the last few days that you've been here?
Well, I think I touched on all the positive, the energy at our level.
Okay, that's right.
I will, if I can, now mention the bad things.
Go right ahead. Let's hear the negative stuff.
I come from an engineering background. I know how to conduct meetings. My wife Charlotte is a member of the International Society of Testing Materials, so she goes to conferences. In fact, she's been in this very building for a conference. I've gone to some of those. They are run with complete order. Everything is done by the book, everything is done on schedule, and I come here, what? I mean, I was amazed. For the first time, I was listening in on the Zoom meetings, and you have all these delegates, learning for the first time that the convention was canceled. It's like, what? What? Do I cancel my reservation? There was sheer panic in all these people wondering what to do. Even I canceled my reservation to showing up last Sunday.
I did the same thing.
And then all of a sudden find out in a slight little mention, we have all these rooms here at the Marriott that we could use for all these pre-committee work.
Right.
Why didn't you tell this up front?
Yeah.
That alone would have said, okay, the first half of the convention is going to go off as planned. It may not have been in that building, but it'll be in this building.
I even think
worry.
I think it was even planned for this building in the first place.
I think it was too.
I think a lot of it was already planned for here, and so the communication has been.
It was terrible.
It's been horrible.
And that's what I found atrocious.
Yeah.
There was way too much needless panic put into all the delegates, all the volunteers, everyone from behind the scenes. It was just total chaos, and it did not have to be that way.
Yeah, it did.
Understand that COVID-19 is a serious issue, and there's things that we're going to have to do. Accept that.
Right.
I don't necessarily like wearing masks, but I got one right there, and I've been wearing it around.
Right.
But do you accept that? It still means there's a lot you can do in a very organized fashion to do the work that is necessary.
Yeah, yep, you're absolutely right. But I got to say this, I got to put in a defense. There's a big difference between 5,000 engineers and 5,000 Texas grassroots yahoos like me, and so there's a big difference.
Yeah.
But I think that's been my biggest complaint, has been just the communications.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been asking everybody to have a little bit of grace on the leadership, have a little bit of grace on Dickie, on all the leadership. They're probably doing the best they can, but yes, the communication, I think. Communication would have made all the difference. In fact, had everything happened the same way it's happened, but we had been communicating, the lines of communication had been open, I think it would be completely different.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us have made that known to our Senate district, our SD, SREC, the people on our executive committee. So I think we've learned a lot, and 2 years from now, someone told me yesterday, or I heard yesterday, that the convention's going to be in Houston again in 2 years.
Well, there's not very many places that to hold it.
Yeah, there's four places in the state, and I thought they just rotated.
Yeah. Well, there is that rodeo ground in Montgomery that we can have, as long as we don't hold it in summertime.
That's right. Oh, that would be miserable.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
do have to make a correction.
Go ahead.
Your comment about engineers. I am one.
Oh, that's right.
If there was a convention of 5,000 engineers, all in a room, there would be 10,000 opinions.
Oh, okay.
So we are probably worse because we can see both sides of the same coin and we'll argue both equally.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Are you? So we're gonna have our caucuses tomorrow. We have a group in Fredericksburg that's going to be gathering at a church so that they're all together.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be? When are y'all heading back?
I think we're heading back tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. So
just to try and get there to participate, or at least do the training, if as a recorded, or if not, and just so we can do our ability to vote and.
Yes, be involved.
Yep.
Well, we sure appreciate that, and we welcome you in Charlotte to Texas. And,
thank you.
And maybe you can fix us all. And I told you, I warned you last week. I said, don't complain too loud. I said, because you'll turn around and someone will hand you the keys to the bus and say, all right, you drive it, buddy. You drive it in 2 years and see what happens.
Well, since I've been retired, I wanted to finally take time to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, just for my pin, I got my Texas flag.
There you go.
This one is a Volunteer of the Year award. Basically, it was for 12 years of being a volunteer on the Livermore Youth Soccer Club.
Okay.
My only sad part about this little pin, I got it from Obama.
You got it from Obama.
Because he was president when they gave me the award.
All
it's
right.
like,
Well, that's
oh well.
all right. And you know, one of the things you missed about the convention, a normal convention, is if you get here in the early days and you go down to all the booths down where in the, the room, you get all this free, awesome swag. And that's what I just love getting the swag. And we just missed out on that this year, so hopefully we'll get some good swag in 2 years from now.
You know what I really missed? Coming in and not getting a little name badge and all that. I was like, where's the pomp and circumstances of just showing up and saying, oh, I'm a delegate.
I have a badge.
Yeah. Now it's just everyone, you know?
Yeah. We had to bring our own badges.
Yeah,
it was
you
like,
did.
bring your
I
own
had a little
badges.
paper sticker.
Yeah, you got a sticker. Okay. Well, Mike, it's been good visiting with you. Thank you, really sincerely.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us and for
thank you for leading the
testimony.
Fredericksburg Tea Party.
And
you're a good organization.
thank you very much.
I'm
So there you
glad to
go.
do my bit.
That's it. Mike
Okay.
Belcik and his wife, who was too chicken to come up here to talk to me. She was just afraid that, so she can watch this video later, Charlotte. See, you missed your chance.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.